at this
Those
point.
are two flat tires. Looks like a Ford Explorer, an older model. It could be an Expedition, but I think that's a Ford Explorer.
Okay, so there's a lot of swerving going on right now. We can see the driver. He appears to have on, he or she, a white baseball cap going in and out of some trees, so we're having a tough time seeing, but he does appear to be picking up speed the best you can when you've got two flat tires that are visible to us right now. Okay, now...
Polk just past Lansing, we're hearing now.
He's gone under... Okay,
obviously in a somewhat industrial area here. And again, this is a carjacking suspect. This began at a convenience store where, according to police, this person may have taken the vehicle from someone at that convenience store and took off. For the time that we've been watching this chase, which was a few minutes before we came on air, we haven't seen really high speed out of this vehicle. Of course, there are at least two, possibly four flat tires, but it hasn't been a high-speed chase, but clearly the driver knows the police are after him, and we believe it's a male, and not stopping.
And we don't have information at this point about a type of weapon that may have been used in this carjacking attempt that we have reported from our police scanners, where we can see at least 4 HPD cars in the picture right there. This is near downtown Houston. The Houston Police Department still in charge of this chase at this point. We see this driver starting this, appears to be slowing down a little bit.
Actually, the car had come to a complete stop and had backed up a few feet right before we came on air. We thought it may have been the end of this chase. The police didn't jump out of their vehicles or anything at that point. They pulled in behind the SUV as it stopped, and it looks like he's slowing down again right now.
The driver has come to a stop. Let's keep an eye on what's going on. We're watching the driver's side door. We don't know if there is a passenger in this car. Again, we have reports that this driver may be on crutches. So jumping out of the car, not going to happen at this point as he continues to drive on through this intersection as we're waiting for a location for you. Okay, he's making a right. He was still on Polk. He's making that right off of Polk.
And clearly having a hard time continuing to go.
Right
the front left tire is completely shredded on the vehicle. The back left tire appears to be shredded too. Running on rims on that side, and again, we presume that it's rims on the other side as well.
We know HPD successfully threw out spike strips when this driver was near the Memorial Park area, and after that point made his way toward the downtown area near the GRB. He exited Polk on 66 now, from what we understand, continuing on.
Yeah, now on the wrong side of the road, we can see the school buses have pulled over there, but going into the oncoming traffic lanes, some more police officers there seem to have...
He appears to be slowing down again. He's southbound on Wayside at this point. Okay, he stopped the car again. We have a very tight shot.
It's been good news that he hasn't been racing, and we keep saying a he, but from that point there, it's hard to tell.
He is at a school zone right now near Carrillo Elementary School. Again, 2:50 in the afternoon, the end of the school day for a lot of kids in the Houston area. Houston police still leading the response to this chase. We saw as many as 9 HPD cars in one shot following this suspect at one point.
More tread coming off of the tires there. Melinda, you were looking away, but there was a point there when the driver made a couple of really odd moves. It looked almost like the seat back had fallen back, and if you have a look at the driver, it seems that the driver's holding themselves or himself or herself up against the wheel as if there's no seat back to hold them.
He is now on South Wayside, just past Lawndale. We see this HPD car getting in front of the car, the suspect's car at this point, as he continues to pick up speed. South Wayside near Lawndale.
Yeah, I think that police car 727 is going to pull in front of him and bring this to a stop. It appears to be what may be happening at this point, or at least try to slow the suspect down. We saw the vehicle had a hard time gaining speed with no rubber left on those tires anymore, just on rims on the right-hand side.
And the driver continues to swerve. It's just a matter of time before he just simply won't be able to go anymore. And that HPD car is right in front of him. He's surrounded at this point.
Yeah, now they have brought this to a halt. He's going to ram the police car.
They're out. Again, this is a carjacking suspect, so they're quite aggressive. They're pulling him out of the car.
They pulled out what appeared to be that crutch that we heard about, and That was
HPD
another
is getting a
crutch that came
reminder
out.
that they are on camera right now. We're hearing from our police scanners. They're trying to open the passenger side windows, front and back.
And they're about to turn a dog loose if this suspect doesn't start complying.
We see officers.
All right, well, they clearly have the driver out of the vehicle now. We can't see the driver. The person we're seeing there is the back of the police officer. Those dogs certainly help in compliance. Just the threat of having that dog turn loose often helps bring someone under control, and they haven't had to turn the dog loose.
And so viewers understand this level of aggression by HPD. This call came in as a carjacking suspect, a stolen car here. He did not immediately get out of the car when it appeared he was ordered. We did have reports that he was on crutches. That crutch was removed by an HPD officer when they walked up or ran up to the driver's side door. That driver now out of the car.
And we can see he did have another flat tire on that side. There is some blood there. We don't know if the driver is bleeding because of falling when coming out of the car, or if there might have been a wound already.
We just want to confirm the sex of the driver as well. And
hard to tell from this distance.
We did see longer hair, so we just want to make sure that we're correct. And we don't want to assume, because we have seen in the past suspects, male and female, with chases with HPD. But again, this is near downtown Houston. If you're just tuning in, we've been following this for about 20 to 25 minutes now. A carjacking suspect on the run from Houston police, it's been almost 30 minutes. They started in the Memorial Park area. This driver made their way downtown near the GRB, then made their way over Polk Street, through South Wayside and Lawndale.
And this is now the 2000 block of Wayside where this came to an end, with that car, as we saw, ramming the back of the police car in front of it, or at least not stopping when it was clear that the police car was stopping. And then really dramatic moments there as one of the police officers jumped out, went through the driver's side window of this vehicle to go after that driver. We can't see because of the graphic. I believe that's a male.
Yes.
With long hair, looks like long blonde hair on the man that they have now on the floor.
And just to point out, we're used to seeing with these scenes with Houston police, once they get the driver in custody or the suspect in custody, they do usually raise that person and get them to a police car. But we do have reports that this person was on crutches for some reason. So in light of that information, they may not be forcing him to get up off the ground at this time. He does appear to be wiggling. And
yeah, quite agitated. Yeah. And as I was saying, Melinda, when we were watching and you could see the driver in the vehicle not acting right at all. Clearly it's not acting right to be running from police, but there were some weird sort of gyrations going on inside that vehicle by the driver. So really, it makes you wonder what the mental state of this person was. Whatever the mental state was, they were clearly a danger to other people on the road, to the person whose vehicle we think was stolen. And again, we can see some blood there on the side of that person's head and on the pavement, probably from
the impact of the fall.
The impact coming out of that vehicle, yeah.
And we have word that an ambulance has been dispatched to the scene. We can say, as we've seen with the last couple of chases that we've had during this time of day on this newscast, that there have not been any serious injuries that we were able to see. And he drove into oncoming traffic. There was a school bus. He was in a school zone. But fortunately, no one that we know of appeared to be injured because of this.